Assalamu alaikum to all the Muslims that are watching and welcome to the non-Muslims that are watching. Basically, this clip has been flying around and I really wanted to respond to it. It came out about a couple weeks ago and it basically is a BBC reporter who is basically verbally attacking a Muslim sister about Islam. She's trying to basically make Islam look sexist. I wish I was in the interview, but let's just deal with all her lies and myths and wrap it up very quickly. So she's going to start off by asking how many Imams there are, not because she wants to know how many female Imams there are, not because she wants to know, because she later goes on to say, are there any female Imams? But basically, she's trying to twist up the sister. Now, before you go on BBC, ITV, Channel 4, you have to know, you have to know these people are going to try and trip you up. You're not on there because they want you to present Islam in a good way and they want people to believe it's the haqq. So you have to know when you're going on these programs to be ready for arguments. You know they're going to try and make Islam look sexist, misogynist and so forth. But anyway, let's deal with this. Let's deal with this lady, yeah? Step by step. Okay. I wish subhanAllah, I could have had this interview. Anyway, we're going to deal with her shubahat, her doubts. Yeah?
So how many female imams are there in the UK at the moment? Just because I presume we'll get to this more, but representing, of course, women, which you will do as part of this, how many do we have in Britain?
I mean, I think, again, I wouldn't have a clue on these numbers because my role is making sure that...
Sister, don't let these people give you an inferiority complex. Just say to them, we don't have any female imams and we're proud and we have reasons why we don't and we're proud that we don't have any imams. Yeah? And I can answer this and I'm going to answer a question and explain why we don't have female imams and why anyone can understand this and why it makes sense. Now we do it because we believe the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was a prophet and we believe that his rules are not from him. They're from the creator of the sun, the moon, the stars, the solar system, yeah, from Allah, yeah, who's one of his actual names is Al-Hakim, the most wise. So we believe that the Prophet is a prophet, yeah, and that anything he speaks is not from himself, yeah. But even I can even give you many reasons why atheists or someone else, yeah, who doesn't even believe in God or anything, yeah, would accept, yeah, you not having female imams for logical reasons. If you know what the role of an imam is. Because the fact that you asked, yeah, how many female imams is proves you don't know what imam actually does, or you wouldn't want her to say there's equal amount to men or there's more than men. Because if you know what imam does, you wouldn't want a woman to do it. I'll prove it to you. But before I get into that, she feels that by making the sentence, how many imams are there, and the sister is stuttering a bit. Yeah, Mela Ada, and the sister is not really answering the question, yeah? She feels she done it. Like, the woman, she feels like she has this smug kind of thing that, look, I've just proved your religion is sexist. Okay, cool. This was on the BBC. Now, I haven't been Muslim all my life, and I would have dealt with this woman. Yeah, in 1 minute. I would have said to her, okay, as Muslims, yeah, we don't have any imams, yeah? And I guess you're trying to conclude by that Islam is sexist, so there's no use in it. Okay, simple. You work for the BBC, yeah? The BBC shows boxing. Please explain to me this. Why for years, for decades and decades on the BBC, yeah, on the weekend, you have a woman walking around in her underwear, yeah, holding up a card, yeah, saying what round it is, yeah, and you don't have men doing it. If you're trying to say that Islam is sexist because we don't have imams and we do it because we believe the Prophet is a prophet, yeah, and he said that there shouldn't be women imams, and we feel like because we believe he's a prophet, yeah. Now, but let's say you don't accept the Prophet. I can give you logical reasons why we don't have female imams, what you won't disagree with. Yeah, but let me ask you a question. If Islam is sexist because we don't have female imams, because you're saying, I gotcha. How many female imams have you got? You're stuttering. That proves that you don't have any, yeah, or very few. Islam is sexist. Cool. Please explain to me, yes, why for decades, ever since you have boxing in this country, that every round, yeah, after every round, you have a woman basically in her underwear walking around with a card above her, yeah, half naked, but you have no men doing it. What is the purpose of a ring card girl? What is the purpose? Are you telling me the people don't know what round it is? Are you telling me you can't get a machine? Why do you only have women paraded around half naked in their underwear walking around with a card? What's the purpose of that? Your purpose is because you don't see women as human beings, yeah, and you use them as objects. You do it in boxing, you do it in MMA, you do it in race car driving, you do it in adverts. So if you want to play this game and say that Islam is sexist because we don't have female imams, which we have reasons for, and I'm going to get into the many reasons why we proudly say we don't have female imams, and why it's a blessing and a mercy to them that they're not imams, yeah? But why do you only have female ring card women, half naked, walking around the ring, holding up the card? It's not to tell you what is it. It's the same thing with cheerleaders. I'll say to the people in America, why do you only have female cheerleaders? What is their purpose? Don't tell me you can't get a machine to tell you, or put graphics up on the screen to say what round it is. So the point I'm trying to say to you is that if you're trying to make Islam look sexist because there's only male imams, yeah, and imams have a much more very important role, yeah, and ring cards, whatever they're called, card girls or whatever they're called, they don't have a serious purpose. It doesn't, you know. Anyway, boxing is haram, but that's a whole different discussion. Hitting people in the face for money or beating people up for money is haram in Islam. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to say to you, you work for the BBC. For decades, you've been treating women like sexual objects. Yeah. So if you're trying to say make a point, you haven't made a point. Anyway, let's deal with the actual topic now. You're trying to say because we don't have female imams that Islam is sexist. What does an imam do? What does an imam do? I know you don't know, because the fact that you're asking that question shows that you don't know. An imam leads, yeah, he has many roles, but he's the focal point of the community in helping them out. He leads the prayers. Now, you don't understand, see, Islam, I come from a Christian background, yeah. Islam is not like these other religions. See, this religion, Islam is not that you just believe that Jesus died to save your sin and you live like an atheist or a secularist. You party, you rave, you smoke, you drink, you have boyfriends and girlfriends, and you do whatever you want. And yeah, when you die, you just supposedly go to heaven. Yeah? Like, if you take a Christian, yeah, and you take an atheist, their lifestyle are the same. They both go parties, they both drink, they both have girlfriends, this, that, and so forth. Even though a lot of this stuff is haram and forbidden in them, girlfriend tattoos, raving and clubbing and all this stuff. All this stuff is wrong in Christianity, but no one takes Christianity seriously anymore. Yeah, so Christianity today is just like what is it? I don't know. It's nothing really. Basically, you just believe that Jesus died to save your sins. Maybe you go to church on Sundays, socialize a little bit, and then what happened? You just work during the week. Islam's not like that. That's why you made a huge blunder in assuming that Islam, yeah, is like Christianity or Judaism or many of the other religions out there. No, in Islam we actually have to do something. Yeah. So you thought you got us, but you haven't got us. So for example, as Muslims, we're supposed to pray 5 times a day. Yeah. See, when we pray, yeah, we're not just asking God for stuff. Yeah. Like spiritual people that claim they're not religious, they're just spiritual. What that really means is I live my life, raving, smoking, going cinema, drinking, like having my girlfriend, whatever, this, that, and the other. And when I get into a car crash and I feel my legs ain't working, I pray to God and say, God, if you get me out of this fix, if you let me have my legs when I get out of this car crash, I'll do a marathon run for the poor and give the money to charity or something. Yeah, and the rest of the week, even this spiritual person just lives like an atheist. No, in Islam we actually do things in it on a daily basis. There's 5 daily prayers, and we don't just ask God for things. We glorify Him. Like we glorify Him for having food and not just having one type of food or juices or water or the different types of plant. We don't just ask God for stuff in our prayers. We glorify Him, and we do this 5 times a day. But there's more. There's extra prayers you can do. Now the Imam, one of the main jobs he does, he leads the prayer. Now there's many reasons why there's only male imams and not female imams. Like I said, for us as Muslims, we believe the Prophet is a prophet, so whatever we say, we accept it. After looking into life, and we know there's no reason you can say that Prophet Muhammad, taught his message other than his prophet. You can't say it was for money because he had money and he never used it. You can't say it was for women because he was offered the best women by his people and he turned them down, and he married women that had kids and so forth, and when he could have just got whatever woman he wanted. You can't say he did it for money. You can't say he did it for women. You can't say he did it for fame, because many times in the Quran, the Quran actually corrects Muhammad and tells him that if you sell this message and so forth, for dunya and this, that, and the other, so forth, we will humiliate you in this life and the next life. So if he was trying to do it, to look like a big shot, to look like an ego, to build up his ego, to look like he's a superhuman or whatever, he wouldn't put anything in the Quran, that makes him look like he can be corrected. In the Quran tells Muhammad that if he sells this message, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, for a miserably price, that he will be doomed in the hereafter and so forth. And many times it advises Muhammad. So if he's trying to look like the big shot, the top dog, the big man, he wouldn't include things in the Quran that corrects him. So the whole thing is this: we as Muslims, we believe Muhammad is a Muhammad, because when we look at his life, we know he didn't portray this message for money, he didn't portray it for women, he didn't portray it for fame. Because even when Muhammad was rich, he slept on a bed made out of basically branches and so forth that left a red mark on his side when he could have had the biggest of houses. But we accept him upon that. But you don't accept that. Cool, no problem. Even you, it's obligatory on men, it's obligatory on men as Muslim men, to pray their 5 daily prayers, in the masjid, It's also obligatory on men to provide for their families. They have to. If a Muslim man works, his money is the family's and his. If a Muslim woman works, her money is hers. But the point is this: Muslim imams, they have to lead the prayer. One of their main jobs is leading the 5 daily prayers in a masjid. Okay, in Islam, when a woman is on her monthly cycle, because she bleeds and so forth and this, that, and that, she doesn't have to pray. Men, they don't get a break to not pray. They have to pray. They have to pray all the time. When a woman, is going through her monthly cycle and so forth and this, that, and so forth, period and so forth, she doesn't have to pray. So the fact you're saying, why isn't there female imams? If there was female imams, she would have to pray all the prayers, and lead them. And not only that, when an imam leads the prayer, he doesn't normally just do the normal 5 prayers. He normally does the extra prayers before and after. Because he wants to set example to the youth. And so one, he's doing it because he's grateful to God. Because we have the normal prayers, the 5 that are obligatory, but then we have extra ones. But the imam normally always does the extra prayers. Why? Because he's doing it firstly for Allah, but secondly he's doing it because there's young boys that come to the masjid and so forth, and if they see the imam doing more than the obligatory amount, and they copy him this, that, and the other, then they're more likely just to do the bare minimum. So he wants to set a good example. So, like 10 out of 10 imams, they're gonna not just pray their normal 5 daily prayers, yeah. They're gonna pray the extra prayers. So, are you saying this is what we should do? We should make sisters, yeah, lead the prayer, yeah. And when they're going through the pain and they're going through the mental, you know, frustration and so forth, of the pain of going through the menstrual cycle and so forth, are you saying that we should force them to pray? Because Islam says that they don't have to pray when they're on their period and so forth. And not only are you saying that they should lead the prayer, they should also do the extra prayers away. Not only that, this is how I knew you didn't know what Imam was. Yeah? In Ramadan, yeah, and this is what you should have done, you keep assuming that Islam is like these other religions where you don't even have to do anything. Yeah? Like you're a Buddhist and maybe you gotta do some exercises and some meditation if you want to, yeah, once a month or a couple times a week. Now Islam, you have to actually do something. There's something to it, you know. So for example, in Ramadan, yeah, the Imam normally reads through the whole Quran, yeah. Cool. So that would mean as well, not only would this woman, yeah, who's an Imam, yeah, have to pray when she's on her cycle, when she's going through physical pain and mental pain and this, that, and the other and so forth, which she normally would have to pray because the deen hasn't forced her, put in that position that she would have to lead the prayers, yeah. And also a woman, she doesn't have to pray in the masjid. Yeah, she can, and the Prophet said don't stop them from coming in the masjid, but she doesn't have to pray in the masjid. Whereas a man, he has to pray in the masjid and he has to provide. And like I told you, he hasn't got option in this, yeah. A Muslim woman, she can choose to work. If she can work, yeah. If she works, yeah, the money that she earns is hers alone, and her husband can't answer for 1 cent, yeah. But the Imam, he has to lead the prayer, yeah? So the point is this, yeah. He's leading the prayer. He's doing the extra prayers. The woman, she would have to do that, yeah. Ramadan comes and the Quran is read through. Yeah, big chunks of the Quran are read through. So you're saying a woman's on her period, yeah, she has to lead the the 5 daily prayers, yeah. She has to do the extra prayers to set a good example to the younger Muslims, yeah. And also she has to write big, because as Muslims, yeah, we read through the whole Quran, yeah. Every year. I know you don't do that at the Bible because no one even knows there's different Bibles. The Roman Catholics have 77 books or 73 books, and the Roman Catholics have 77 or 73 books, and the Protestants will have something like 66 or something. Yeah, you don't even know what the Bible is, so how can you memorize it? And all these Christian missionaries that try and say that the Quran's been changed and there's many Qurans and there's 7 Qurans, this is rubbish. I'll tell you why, because when we read through the Quran every Ramadan, if there was many different Qurans, yeah, there would be chaos in Ramadan. Because what happens when the Imam is reading and reciting the Quran, yeah, sometimes because he's human, he stutters and he'll forget where he is just momentarily, and then what will happen? I have a little boy, because there's little kids that have memorized the Quran, yeah, and there's like 50-year-old men that have memorized the Quran. They would just say the first part of the sentence that he forgot, and then they would just carry on. You never, ever, yeah, get a part where the Imam is reciting the Quran, and then what happens? He gets stuck, and then 2 people say 2 different things. Never in the history of anywhere. This is a proof that we don't have many Qurans. Is that there was never be in all these different masjids, like hundreds of masjids or even thousands of masjids all over, you know, England and Europe and America, yeah, people are reciting the Quran, and because we're human and people are human, sometimes they forget, you know, they forget where they are, and they stutter for a bit, and they try to get their thought, and then a little kid or a grown man, yeah, will say the actual verse, and then he'll remember instantly where he is, and he'll carry on. He just needs his mind jog. And never do you have 2 people saying 2 different parts of the Quran. Anyway, the point I was trying to say is that an Imam, this is why you thought you were smart, because you said how many male Imams are there, yeah? And she goes on to say, are there any imams? She knows there's no imams, but she knows that there's no imam, but she has no clue what imam does. So what you're saying, you want there to be female imams. So you're saying, instead of the mercy that Islam gives women, where the imam has to lead the 5 daily prayers, and he always does the extra prayers, yeah, to set a good example to youth, yeah, she should do that. She should lead the 5 daily prayers, yeah, when she doesn't have to come to the mosque if she doesn't want to, yeah, but if she wants to, no, because if she wants to, she shouldn't be stopped, because the Prophet said, don't stop the women from coming to the masjid, yeah, cool. But you're saying, no, don't do what Islam says, yeah. The man leads the 5 daily prayers, yeah, and he, through all his adult life, he's going to be praying, yeah, and if he's an imam, he's going to be doing all the prayers. The woman on her period, is Allah tells her that she doesn't need to, that she doesn't need to pray, yeah, and she doesn't need to go to masjid. No, you say she has to. You're gonna force your feminism. You're gonna force her feminism on her, and so you have to come to the masjid, and you have to come and not just do the 5 prayers. You have to do the extra prayers, yeah. Yeah, when you're going through your period, you're going through your mental, stress and your physical pain. Yeah. Not only that, during Ramadan, you don't get no breaks there. You're gonna have to read. You're gonna have to read the 5 daily salah. You're gonna have to do the extra prayers, and you're gonna have to read huge chunks of the Quran. And if you're on your period, tough luck. Yeah, it's not luck. We don't believe in luck, but tough, whatever it is, it's tough. Feminism is going to demand that you do the 5 prayers, you do the extra prayers, yeah, and you, and you also read the Quran. Not only that, a imam is the heartbeat of the community, meaning that people come, he knows like 3 generations, the father, the grandfather, the father, and so forth, and the grandma, the wife, and the daughters, and this, that, and the other. Yeah. Now, imam is in a community. He knows couples issues. Like if couples are going through hardships and arguments or divorces or abortions or so, people come to him for advice, for religious knowledge. They come to him, if things ain't going well in a relationship. He's basically like a sponge dealing with lots of different people. So say a female woman is now an imam, yeah? She's an imam. Not only does she have to lead the prayers, not only does she have to pray all the 5 prayers through the year, not only does she have to do the extra prayers, not only does she have to read big chunks of the Quran when she's going on a menstrual cycle and stuff, but also when she's going through labour. Because you believe in equality, the imam's phone doesn't stop ringing with problems, yeah? When she's going through labour, that means she has to deal with all them calls. Because being an imam is not just a job. These kids, the kids that are growing up in the West, he's known them from little kids, and he might see them. They go through teenage issues and this and so forth, and he might be aware of what's going on in the area and so forth. These boys, he'll talk to them, yeah, and this, that, and so forth. Like I said, couples are going through situations and stuff. They talk to him, yeah, the imam, he also deals with the community. So for example, every Friday, that's another thing. Every Friday the imam gives a speech, yeah, it's called a khutbah, yeah. Every Friday he gives a speech and he does a sermon, and she has to do that as well. Forget if you're in your menstrual cycle where Allah says you don't have to pray, you don't have to come to the masjid. You have to, because feminism is going to force you. Feminism is going to dictate that you get out of your house, yeah, you come down to the masjid, yeah, you lead the prayers, yeah, you do the extra prayers, yeah, and you read the Quran during Ramadan, and every Friday, yeah, you prepare a sermon, yeah, and this sermon has to be important because it's the one day of the, people go to the masjid, yeah, during the week, but it's the one day of the week that everyone, especially, men have to go, yeah. Women could go, and as the Prophet said, they shouldn't be stopped, yeah, but it's compulsory upon men, and they're sinful if they don't go. Women are not sinful if they don't go. But this thing, many people this is the only time they're gonna have a talk. Yes, they may pray in a masjid and this and that, but the time when they're gonna actually have a talk is on Friday. Yeah, so she has to prepare a talk for that. Yeah. And now when the imam's speaking, what you have to understand, another reason why a female shouldn't be imam, because the imam not only deals with the masjid, he is advising, the community that he's in. So for example, say there's drug dealers in the community, yeah? And say some of them happen to be Muslim or they happen to be non-Muslim. It's his job to speak out the member and talk about, Muslims don't go near these people, don't hang around with these people. You know what I'm saying? As a Muslim, you can't be involved with these people. If there's a Muslim who's selling drugs and these things, he has to speak out and say, look, brother, who's selling drugs or speak out against these gangs and say, look, if you're in a gang and you're stabbing people over postcodes, this is wrong. Fair Allah created the earth, yeah, and you're just on different parts of the earth, yeah, and you're killing each other over this, fair Allah, because you're going to be punished if you take a person's life. Are you telling me that we should take our women, yeah, and put them in that vulnerable state where they're speaking out on the society and speaking out against drug dealers and violent crimes and this, that, and the other and so forth? Because some of these people may come for the imam when he starts speaking about drug dealing and people stabbing and gangs and not be part of them and this, that, and the other. So what, we should leave a woman in that position, yeah? And if she gets stabbed or if she gets consequences, yeah, like a car broken or a window smashed and stuff, we should put her in that position. Nah, wallahi, we won't do that. Because when you're an imam, you have to speak out on the environment you're in against non-Muslims and Muslims if they're doing haram. See, you don't know what imam is. That's why you thought it was smart and you thought I got you, yeah, when you said how many female imams are there, because you didn't know what that entails, yeah? You have no clue what you're talking about. And it's a mercy, it's a blessing, yeah, that Allah, yeah, didn't make a woman have to lead a prayer, yeah, And if you want equality, because feminism, this is the thing about feminism and why it's so rubbish, yeah. And we don't need feminism. We got all all the rights that you're just recently getting now. 1400 years ago with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, Muslims might not be perfect. Yeah, and we need to implement more of our rules and this and so forth. Yeah, but please don't talk. Please, you're in no position. Women, less than 60 years ago, women couldn't own a bank account in this country. Less than 60 years ago, you couldn't own a bank account. When a woman gets married, she becomes the property of a man. That's why she changes her surname. She becomes his property. Yeah, a woman doesn't change her name when she becomes Muslim. She doesn't become that man's property. But anyway, the point is, I want to say, yeah, feminism is rubbish. I'll tell you why feminism is rubbish and we don't need it is this. Because if you want equality, it's funny how when you talk about equality, when you don't talk about equality, you pick and choose your equality. Because I have never seen any marches, yeah, for feminists, yeah, because you want everything equal, yeah, you want equal everything, yeah. Do you want equal? Do you want the government to force, yeah, construction jobs, yeah, to make sure they have 50% men and 50% women? Plumbers, bricklayers, electrical engineers. Do you want the government to force them to make sure there's no demonstration and for scaffolders? When you feminists talk about equality, do you really want equality? Do you want the government to force, say to every foreman that, listen, you have to have 50%, yeah, men on this site and 50% women climbing up bloody scaffolding and carrying heavy things and maybe falling down and stuff like that? Do you really want equality? I don't see feminists asking for equality in heavyweight boxing. Now, boxing is haram. You can't beat people up, punch people in the face for money, and so forth. But you don't believe it's forbidden. So I don't see lots of people like feminists at boxing matches and so forth with their cars up. We want equality. We want to box. We want men and women all to be boxing together. Why? I don't see it in MMA. You pushing for mixed martial arts, for you've demanding and what is it? And everywhere you can, chasing down Dana White, Bellator, UFC, and saying, listen, we demand that women fight against men. Where's your you don't want equality in sports, you don't want equality in 100-meter sprint, you don't want equality in nothing. It's just certain things you want equality in. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Some quiet times equality can lead to oppression. Equality can lead to oppression, because if you force women to be on work sites, if you force women in sports to go up against men and stuff, it will be oppression. So take that feminism and stick it in the ground, mate. Anyway, so the point I was trying to, so that's what I just wanted to say, is that Imam has so many jobs. Like, if you force a woman to do it, and that's what I'm saying, when a woman's pregnant, because the reason why I was trying to say to you, the Imam has so many jobs. Yeah, and he has so many relationships. He has relationships with the grandmother. He has relationships with the wife. He has relationships with the daughter. He has relationships with the grandfather. He has relationships with the father. He has relationship with the son. Not in that he knows these families. Yes. So when a woman gets pregnant she has the primary role for her is to make sure that her and her baby is okay. Should she be forced to be a mom then? Because you can't just keep on changing imams, every time a woman gets pregnant, or every time a woman goes on a menses and this, that, and the other, and so forth. You can't just keep on changing imam, because this imam has so many information of so many sensitive subjects and dealings and so much. He's the heart of the community. You can't just take him out. Anyway, that's the point. I'm talking about. People on TikTok, don't worry if anyone's saying any nonsense in there. Like I said, after I finish reacting to the video, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna choose some moderators. So whenever I come into a room, I can just already have moderators in there. Anyway, let me just carry on reacting. Yeah.
Muslims, like British Muslims in any poll, do not find this group representative.
It's something like 3% of them support them.
Politicized wing of Islam in the UK, so that's why it gets called this way. So they do this interview, and I want to play a bit of it. We're not going to play the full thing, just so you can get a flavour. So this is her asking how many imams in the UK are women.
How many?
These guys that were just talking, I'm gonna do a reaction to them at some stage, because they're bloody all smug and stuff like that. Same thing with them; they have no clue what imam is. But I just need a video with the full clip on it for me to respond to.
How many female imams are there? In the
Get a flavour. So this is her asking how many imams in the UK are women.
How many female imams are there? In the UK at the moment, just because I presume we'll get to this more, but representing, of course, women, which you will do as part of this. How many do we have in Britain?
I mean, I think, again, I wouldn't have a clue on these numbers, because my role is making sure that we include our affiliates, particularly women, in the work that we are doing, and making sure that our structures, as well as the work we do, are truly representative. So I think that,
you don't know, that's fine if you don't know, but do we have female imams in this country?
She thinks she's smart. See, first she says how many imams there are. She knows there's no imams. Yeah, I don't know whether she's Christian or Jewish, but either way. And then after the sisters kind of not really kind of beating around the bush, then she goes, what? Where is it? She asks her, is there any? Like, she's just trying to make her point. Yeah, the sister just, it's unfortunate. You learn from your mistakes anyway. She just tried to twist the sister up and so forth. No, there isn't any female imams. We proudly say there's not one female imam, and if there is, there shouldn't be any. Yeah. And secondly, there's not going to be more from Orthodox Muslims Muslims that follow the Quran, the Sunnah, and the companions and the rest of the Salaf. There's not going to be any, because we believe our religion was perfect the way it came. We don't need an update like an Android and an iPhone. We don't update our religion and get new updates. If it's perfect, it doesn't need to change. And like I said to you, don't talk. You're on BBC. You're on BBC, man. You have girls walking around in their bloody underwear, holding up cards for boxing, yeah. And you don't have men doing it. Why? Because you don't view women as human beings. Just like how you stick women on bloody Kellogg's K or whatever on a bloody cereal box to sell it, bruv. You stick a woman in front of anything, pencils, bloody, I don't know, air freshener, anything to say it, you just strip a woman down half naked and throw it aside because you don't see her as a human being. That's why you change your name when you get married, because you could become that person, the man's property. Get out of there, man.
I mean, again, it's not. Are you referring to chaplains, or are you referring to women that lead the prayer? What are you referring to? And I think.
Well, you tell me. I'm genuinely intrigued to know. Of course, female priests have been around for some time. We've also seen the advent of female rabbis in this country. What is?
See, she tries to say, look, Christians, yeah, have female rabbis, yeah, and sorry, Jewish people have female rabbis, and Christian people, yeah, have they have Christian priests. Yeah, first of all, that's not what the Bible says. You also have homosexual priests. You also have trans priests. So what? Homosexuality is wrong. In fact, in the Bible, I don't want to talk about women's role in Christianity. Women are not allowed to speak in church. What are you talking about? The Bible says that women shouldn't speak in church. That they shouldn't speak when it comes to preaching and so forth. They shouldn't speak in church, yeah? And if they want to learn anything, ask their husbands at home. That women, you shouldn't speak, keep that women should learn in silence. And if you want to learn anything, yeah, then don't ask in a church, yeah? Go and only ask your husband at home. Shh, be quiet. Don't talk about our religion. What Christians and Jews do is not a proof for anything. This is supposed to be a Christian country. When you go to school, they have mass in it. Yeah, we have Christian holidays. For example, Easter holiday. Where is it? Christmas. Yeah, we have bank holidays over Christmas festivals. Yeah. When you go to court, you have to swear on the Bible. The default position when you go to court, yeah, is not atheism. You swear on the Bible. Yeah. And so forth, yeah. You can choose to something else, but the thing they're going to give you when you go to court to swear the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, is the Bible. It's not the Hindu scriptures or Dawkins' latest book or so forth, yeah. So the thing is that homosexuality is wrong, yeah, but you have homosexual priests. So the reason why Judaism and Christianity have changed, yeah, is because the society has put pressure on them to change, yeah, and because their scriptures and stuff were never preserved, so they need to change because they care what people think, and their book has been messed up. But we don't need to change anything because our religion is perfect. We may not be perfect, but our rules are perfect, yeah. So you have Jesus, you have using what Christians do and what Jews do, yeah, as a proof that Islam is behind his rubbish. You have movies, yeah, where you curse Jesus, where you mock him, where you insult this prophet of Allah. I think there was a film supposed to come out mocking Jesus. And it was the Muslims that said we're going to turn everything upside down. See if this film come out. I can't remember what it was. It was a film, and I think Jesus was supposed to be gay in it, or he was supposed to be gay, or it was something insulting. It was something to do with insulting Jesus. And you know what it was? It's the Muslims that said, listen, see if you release this film, things are going to get turned upside down. Now, Islam doesn't tell us, yeah. Islam doesn't tell us to harm other people. Yeah. Well, in a non-Muslim country, yeah, because you have the freedom to insult people, yeah. But in a Muslim country, That's you're not allowed to insult the Prophet. If you insult the Prophet, you're going to get dealt with. You're going to get capital country. If it's a Muslim country, yeah, and you insult the Prophet, we're not going to allow you in the name of freedom of speech, yeah, to insult them. Now, when we're living in a non-Muslim country, there's lots of things that are haram. For example, mortgages, not mortgages, forget mortgages, yeah. Car insurance is haram, yeah. But the thing is, for us, riba, interest is haram for us, yeah. You know. But the thing is because Muslims will go to jail, yeah, if they don't, yeah, if they don't get car insurance, they get it, even though it's a major sin. Like interest, taking riba, because what happens with riba and so forth, yeah, is that basically the rich get poor of the rich get poor of the rich get rich of the poor, yeah. So and basically it causes people to just become bankrupt, yeah, and just suffer, yeah. So the whole thing is that, you know, even it's a severe sin in our religion, but you know we have rulings in our religion that if you're in a non-Muslim country, yeah, and you're going to get arrested if you don't have insurance and it's part of the law, you do it. It doesn't become halal, but you do it out of necessity, and the blame is lifted off you because you're going to end up in jail. If you end up in jail, then you're not going to be able to provide for your family. You're not going to, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. So the thing doesn't change, but the thing is this, is that like there's many things. Our religion does tell us in a non-Muslim country, if people are insulting the Prophet, that you beat them up physically and this, that, and the other, and so forth. But us Muslims, we have a love for the prophets. We have a love for the prophets. So even when Jesus is being insulted, yeah, not everyone's gonna follow that. Remember, not every Muslim is practicing. So people can have that love for the Prophet, yeah, and the Prophet, and for Jesus and Moses and this, that, and the other, and so forth, yeah. But when you try and make films dissing them and so forth, some people are not practicing. They're Muslim, they have it in their heart and this, that, and the other, but they're not really practicing. You know, they might not be fully praying and this, that, and the other, and so forth. But if you're gonna diss the prophets, they're gonna lose it. You know, so using as a measurement. Even hijab is in the Bible. If you're Christian, it says if a woman doesn't cover her head, yeah, she should shave off her hair. That's why. So you know. The hijab is in the Bible. Hijab. Mary used to dress. Look at Mary. Look at the way Mary dressed. Yeah, and that wasn't because of the time. Yeah, that wasn't because of the time she lived in. Mary's rules and the way she lived her life was not according to the irreligious people. Yeah, the pictures of Mary. She's wearing hijab. What you think if Mary was around nowadays, she could be wearing high heels and bra tops and miniskirts and walking around with her cleavage hanging out? Is that what you think? Go look at Edgware Road. Go East London, this, that, and the other summer. If Mary was around nowadays, she would look like a Muslim woman. Why? Because her son was a prophet of Allah and he was following revelations from God. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get with, just because you say that Jews and Christians are doing A, B, and C, that means nothing to us. They are not a measurement for us of doing good, bad, or good. We stay in line with the Quran and Sunnah, yeah, with our teachings, yeah. And what was wrong 1400 years ago is wrong today, yeah. Our religion doesn't change, like I said, like phone updates, like all these other religions and so forth. And just because something is ancient, or just because something is an old rule, it doesn't mean that it's useless. Treating your parents good, yeah, is an ancient rule, is an old rule, is a back in our old school rule. Treating your parents right, treating the old good, yeah. These are ancient rules. Do we just chuck them out because they're ancient? No, just because something is old doesn't mean it's wrong. Yeah, and you're gonna see with all this transgender business and all this homosexuality business and so forth, you keep on going that path and see where it's gonna lead you. Yeah. So to answer the women's questions, there is how many female imams is there? There isn't any, and there shouldn't be any. Yeah. Secondly, what was our first question? How many female imams are there? Yeah. Hopefully there's none. Yeah. And inshallah in the future there will be none, because it'd be oppressive to the woman for the million reasons I listed before. Let's see what else she's got to say.
You tell me. I'm genuinely intrigued to know. Of course, female priests have been around for some time. We've also seen the advent of female rabbis in this country. What is the picture for women leading prayer in Britain?
This is the picture. This is the picture for women in the West. The picture is we are not going to force women, on their menstrual cycle to come in and lead the prayer, like Allah said so. We're not going to force them, was it to come in and lead the 5 daily prayers when Allah says they don't have to. It's optional for them if they want to go to the mosque or not. We're not going to force them to do the extra prayers, and so forth when they're going through their cycle. We're not going to force them to prepare a lecture to reach all the different ages, the elderly men, the middle class, the middle-aged men, the young boys, the elderly women, the middle-aged women, and the young girls. Every week you have to prepare a lecture that's going to hit them all. No, we're not going to put that on top of her. We're not going to put on there. So in the picture for the Muslim woman is that she's going to have ease and mercy, and she's not going to have all these burdens on her. You like it? Tough.
In Muslim communities.
Well, I think my role isn't really to adjudicate or to examine that part of spirituality. I think where women want to make those choices and where, that these are all religious discussions.
Oh, no, of course. It was just, I thought, because the Muslim Council of Britain's played such an important role in getting the number of Muslims, for instance, added to the census. I mean, that was done at the turn of the century, so we actually knew how many Muslims there were. Do we...
Sister, anyway, like I said, you learn from your mistakes. She had no sincere intention to find out how many imams, female imams there were. She knows that imams are not allowed. What she's trying to say is that Islam is sexist. I want to ask you another question. As well, because I grew up in this country, so you can't use this crap on me, Why is it? I've noticed that when with news presenters, on every channel, the man without doubt is always in a suit, He's in a suit and a shirt, and trousers, When you have the woman, and the man that's doing the weather as well, he's in a suit, this, that, and the other. Please tell me, why the woman who leading the news has got a face full of makeup, cleavage showing, the shortest skirt and this, that, and the other, she has to make sure her legs are... She has to make sure her legs are closed or everyone's going to see her underwear, this, that, and the other. Please tell me, Please explain to me why. I never understood this until I never noticed this until I become a Muslim. Why doesn't a man ever come? Why doesn't a man ever come on the news, with his shirt open, with his all his buttons undone, with his, with his shirt open, 6-pack showing in 3/4 lengths? Why does that never happen? Why is it on every channel the man that reads the news, he's in a suit, it's buttoned up to the top, what is it? He's wearing trousers, and the woman next to him's got a face full of makeup, no pluck to the shortest skirt in the world, her clothes and this, that, and the other. Because if she doesn't, her underwear's going to be showing and stuff. Why is it that you never get a man casually? Why don't you ever have a man casually dressed and so forth? You know why? You know why you have that? Because you see the man as someone who's doing a serious job, who's reading the news. That's why he's dressed in a suit and shirt is all done all the way up and so forth, and he's not there in shorts or his shirt open or buttons all done down and stuff and stuff. And you just see the woman's eye candy. Why is it the man that's always doing the weather? Why is it he always in a suit, long trousers, fully full shirt and this, that, and the other, tie, this, that, and the other, so forth, and the woman's in some mini skirt? Why? You know why? Like I said, you don't see women, as human beings. You see them as objects. So talk about hijab, talk about burqa, talk about niqab, talk about whatever you want. At least Muslim communities see their women as human beings.
of Britain's played such an important role in getting the number of Muslims, for instance, added to the census. I mean, that was done at the turn of the century, so we actually knew how many Muslims there were. Do we have female imams?
I think what's really important for the Muslim Council of Britain, the work that we do, is actually...
She has no answer for her.
No,
and
I got answer for
you can see that she...
I got answer. I would love to come in your program. I'll give you an answer. Yeah. See, unfortunate with this, yeah, they got this sister. They got her because it's like she actually maybe thought that, yeah, I got a big achievement. I'm the first woman of the Muslim Council of Britain. They want to congratulate. No, sister. You know, I've been going to the speaker's corner. I've been like talking to having discussions with Muslims for 10 plus years, yeah, and so forth. These people are not inviting you, yeah, to congratulate you. Yeah, they don't want they know that Muslims, you know, most people, whether they're Christian or whatever, or spiritual or atheist, they're not having families. They're not getting married like Muslims do. Even though we're not perfect as Muslims, zina is still is still a big thing, yeah, that the Muslim community is against. Even young brothers and young sisters, yeah, okay, there's more people doing zina and so forth, but there's still a big chunk here, yeah, who want to do things the right way. You know, Muslims are the only people that are getting married young and having families and having structured families, yeah, yeah. Non-Muslims ain't doing it. Non-Muslim men are not having families. Why? Why would they? They believe it. Their religion is YOLO, Drake and bloody. Their religion of the young men growing up in the West, and I know, yeah. I haven't been Muslim all my life, yeah, is YOLO where's it? Take as much intoxicants as I want, get as much material things as I want, get as hench as I want, and conquer as much girls as I want. On forever. There's no judgment day, there's no Jannah, there's no hellfire, there's no Allah. My purpose in life, as their prophet Drake says, is YOLO. You only live once. Just consume drugs, consume money, consume material things, consume women, and just keep on going on. Where else are you going to find someone who's 18, 19, 20, 21, in their early 20s trying to get married and have families? No way do you find that apart from Muslim men. You don't find anyone, yeah, you know, a person don't drink, don't smoke, don't club, don't don't have female friends that they hang out with and so forth. Don't do one night stands. All these other religions and this, that, and the other. Christianity is dead. It's over with. It's just a label. Take a Christian and an atheist and look at their lives. The way that Christian people go dressed to raving is the way they go dressed to church. The way they go, they dress to raving, they go to funerals. It's all just one big party. There's no ibadah. There's no way of life in Christianity. It's just Jesus died to save my sins. That's it. And most people that are born into Christian families, they go church, yeah. Well, I don't know what is in other people's family, but in black families, yeah. When you're young, you go church because it's church. It's either you got three options. You got church, or you got the belt, or you got the slipper. So you choose to go church, and you go church until you don't have to go church anymore, until your mum's not going to hit you anymore, and then you never go back. You leave and you never come back because it has no relevance in your life. The church, Jesus died to save your sins. All right, mate, go out, go clubbing, go sleeping around and whatever. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that Islam is the only thing. These people are scared. They look at Muslim families. They look at Pakistani families. They look at Somali families. They look at, you know, other countries in Africa and so forth. You know, they look at Albania. They see this. Muslims they still get married. They still get married. They still have families. You know what I'm saying? You know, as time goes on, Muslims are going to become the majority. And Muslims are not even trying this just because our deen says that zina is haram. But young boys that grow up here, Christian boys that grow up here, they're not living Christianity, they're living YOLO. If a girl gets pregnant, you better abort that child, or they just throw the chip away and avoid her. Why? Because YOLO is a religion of enjoyment. YOLO is a religion of just smoke as much you want, sleep with as much girls as you want, get as many material things as you want. And if a baby comes along, that's not part of my religion. A baby comes with responsibility. Marriage comes with responsibility. Why don't I want to be married for? I'm going to smoke, drink, you know what I'm saying, rave as much as possible until death. YOLO, you only live once. There's no Jannah, there's no Jahannam, there's no nothing. Responsibility and accountability is not part of my deen. So, what this woman's saying and what these other guys are saying about, you know, how many imams there are no female imams. There are no female imams. Yeah, there's not going to be for the people that follow the Quran, the Sunnah, you know, the companions and the rest of the Salaf. There is not going to be for Orthodox Muslims, Sunni Salafi Muslims, Al Sunnah. You know, there's not going to be no female imam, because we follow the deen that was revealed because it was perfect, and perfect don't need changing. Like they say, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. So yeah, I think that's it. I think
Looks really much on the back.
I think these guys are just, I don't know what they are. They're just liberal, whatever, and so forth. So they're enjoying their sister get done. And I'm just gonna listen to, if she doesn't say anything more, I'm gonna call it a day.
There, doesn't she? Like Emma is going on the attack. She's leaning in. She's like, where are the female imams? Where are the female imams? And this woman looks like she's being crushed under the weight of this assault.
Really spooked. And I think she is spooked because this is a leftist domain, BBC Women's Hour, especially Emma herself.
Totally.
And her coming at this as a sort of intersectionalist new Muslim type, I imagine was expecting a friendly interview or something non-different.
Yeah, she was expecting a friendly interview, and that's our fault, because the whole thing is, brothers and sisters, if you get invited to BBC or ITV or this, that, and the other, if you've never been on these programs before and so forth, yeah, and you've never been on it, or you've never dealt with these channels, yeah, if you're involved in dawah, you know about these channels and stuff like that, don't go on there. Like, these people are not believers. They do not believe that Islam is the haqq. Why would they congratulate you that you're the first wherever you are, whatever the first you are, whether you're the first imam or whatever you are? I don't know what she is. I don't think she's an imam, but wherever you are, you don't need no one to congratulate you. Like, whatever you are, the first thing is, as long as it's halal, yeah, alhamdulillah, your parents will praise you, the community will praise you. Well, we don't need no non-Muslims to praise us, because when they praise us, yeah, they're getting something out of it, you know. But anyway, cool. I think that's it.